Today I'm going to show you how to make a lot of earrings using 2 molds, resin, and dried flowers. My dried flowers came in 1 package on Amazon, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crumble them up into this big tub. This tub I use for this purpose only. You're just tearing the petals off of the flowers. Don't use the stems or anything. If some of the leaves get in it, that's fine. It'll just add some green color to your earrings. And this flower I regretted using because there's little fuzzy seeds in them, and I had to keep on picking them out through the whole process. So I don't recommend using anything that has a fuzzy seed. I'm just continuing this process with quite a few different collared flowers. And I was going for a fall theme. And I like to tear them in different sizes as well to make the piece more interesting looking. And these orange flowers here, I think, is what really made them look like fall. So I tried to put a lot of those in there. And the collars turned out really pretty. Try not to get any of those hard bits in there. And you can do this with any color flowers that you want. You just mix them all together. I'm using these 2 molds. They're the exact same mold, but I am using 2 of them to make more earrings. And I'm going to put some of this orange glitter into the molds because I'm going for that fall look. I won't fill every single spot with this because I'm not going to use them all, but I'm going to use most of them. Don't put too much glitter, just a little bit, because the main color on these earrings is going to come from those dried flowers. Those smaller slots are going to be stud earrings, and then the rest will be earring hooks or necklaces. Next, you want to put a very thin layer of resin right in the bottom of the molds, and you're kind of mixing that glitter in with the resin. And the glitter will be right in the front of the earring when you're finished, and it'll give it a pretty look. Once you've done that, you're going to spread the flowers you've torn up and put it right into the resin, filling most of the mold up with the flowers. I'm still pulling those fuzzy seeds out of the flower mix. And you're going to do this to all the molds, but I did forget a step for some of these first ones because I wanted to put some glitter. They're like glitter flakes is what they are. And I wanted to put those on top of the orange glitter once I put the resin in, and I forgot to do that with the first few of these I did. But I'll show you how to do that in just a second. It just adds a little bit more interest to the piece. You can see I have to tear some of the flowers as I'm adding them in. This is the glitter flakes. They're just a flat, bigger piece of glitter. Putting them into all of the slots when the resin's already in it. And I used yellow because I figure orange and yellow are very fall. This will make your earrings shimmer more, especially when the light hits it. It'll be pretty. It was hard for me to tell which ones had resin and which ones didn't. I had to really pay attention to that. And then fill the rest of them with the dried flowers right on top of the glitter flakes. Still picking out those seeds. Do yourself a favor and don't let the seeds get into your mix. Once that's done, you're going to add more clear resin right on top of the dried flowers. And as you're doing that, push those dried flowers down into the mold and make sure they're not popping up because it'll make sharp edges on the back of your earring. You're going to do that to every single earring you made. Using this dropper makes it a lot easier so you're not getting resin all over the edges of the molds. And it's a lot easier to make it the correct amount in your mold too. Once that's complete, let it set overnight. Then you can start demolding them. Look how pretty they turned out. You can see a bit of the glitter, and it still is a little bit see-through, which I love because the flowers don't take up the whole mold. And this will be a stud, and I'll show you how to finish those off. I love that pop of orange color from those flowers in there. They really turned out beautiful. And just continue to demold all of your pieces. This is what they're going to look like. And then here's my other mold. I'm going to work on demolding those. You'll see there is some resin pieces on some of the edges, and I'll show you later how to get those off. Look how many pieces those molds made. This is a great way if you're needing to restock at any of your stores or on even online. This is a good way to do it because you can make a bunch at one time. So see this little edge here? I just take my sewing scissors here, very carefully cut around the edge, and then make sure there's no sharp bits there. You can sand it off, but then that's a whole process. So it's much easier if you can. I prefer to do it this way. I very rarely sand any pieces if I don't have to. And just check every piece. And I also had some extra resin and flowers when I was making these earrings, so I went ahead and showed you what it would look like if you did it in a coaster form, and it turned out so cute. I love the glitter flakes in there. I got this pack of earring supplies from Amazon, and there is a little eye screw here. And that's what a lot of these are going to be finished with. So you're actually just going to be putting it in the top to make the earring. You're going to need some sort of small resin drill. This is just a little handheld drill. And you very carefully but firmly put it in the top middle of your earring. And you're going to drill a hole in the top there. Just deep enough for your eye screw to fit in. And then you're going to need the eye screw and a pair of pliers. A small pair of jewelry pliers works best. And you need to do it firmly or this will happen. Yep. So hold it tight. And it's best if you're using the earring moving in a circle rather than the pliers. It's just much easier that way. So you need to press firmly and twist your earring and your eye hook will get into place. Or your eye screw will get into place. You want to make sure it's tight, but not so tight that you're going to break the eye screw. I find that doing this process right when you're demolding the items the day after is easiest because your resin's still a little bit soft on the inside enough to do this without breaking your eye screws. Now, if you would wait like a week later, it's a lot harder, and I've found that especially like when I'm doing keychains and stuff, the eye screw can tend to break as you're trying to get it into the resin. So it's best to do it right when you demold it the day after. You need a jump ring and an eye hook to finish off the earring. And for this earring, to make it lay right, I actually have to turn this part right here to make it right. So we're taking the jump ring, we're going to put it into the eye screw and onto the earring hook. And you're going to use 2 pliers is easier to get it to close correctly. It's hard on your fingers trying to do it by hand. And it turned out so cute. And you just continue doing that with all of the thick pieces that you want to turn into earrings, because there's a different process for those thinner, flatter earrings. You have to do that a different way because your eye screw won't actually go into it correctly. So you have to do it a different way, and I'll show you how. So this is how you would do it for one of those thicker circles. Make sure you're not getting it too close to the back or the front. Do it right in the middle there because you could accidentally drill out the back of the front and you'd ruin that piece. And again, just turn the actual resin piece, not the pliers. Makes it so much easier. There you go. You're going to repeat the same process. Depending on how your earring hardware lays, you don't always have to turn the earring hook how I just did. But for these, to get it laying correctly in the right direction, I do have to do that for these. When you're closing your jump rings, you want to get them as straight as possible so they look nice and neat. There you go. Now I went ahead and finished all of those that needed the eye screw, and I wanted to go ahead and show you how these bigger pendants you can turn into a necklace. They're kind of heavy for an earring, so I prefer them as necklaces. And if you have them in like a shop or if you're selling these, people might want the necklace and the earrings to go as a set because they match, which would be really cute together. So I just have these corded necklaces that I like to buy in bulk. I use the jump ring to add the necklace on, the pendant on, and now it's a really cute necklace. I love how they turned out. And then I went ahead and finished all those necklaces. Those are going to all be different. I'm going to show you how to package this necklace. So I found these cardboard necklace holders. I also use them for keychains on Amazon. You staple them shut and there it's ready to sell. And I'm going to go ahead and package these to get these out of the way. I just also get these cardboard earring holders on Amazon, and I put these clear rubber backs on there. And I'm going to package all of those up, and those are going to be ready to sell. Look how cute. I love how they turned out. And I do think they definitely look fall. And that's how many of the eye screw earrings came out. Now this is what I was talking about when I was telling you the flatter, thinner earrings. You can't really put those eye screws through. So we're going to need some UV resin and one of these little flat back brad hooks here. And that's how we're going to get it turned into an earring. So you're going to put your UV resin directly on the back. And you'll want to spread that out into a very thin layer, being careful not to go over the edges. It's almost like you're making a dome effect on it. But what we're doing is we're going to attach this hook here. And the reason I have this jumbo popsicle stick is because it's going to keep that hook nice and flat so that it will set up correctly on the earring. And you'll want to do this to all of your flatter pieces from that mold. Use the flat side of this and place it directly on the UV resin, right on the top where the loop is hanging off the top of it there. And you're going to put it on the under the UV light. You only need to do it for about 30 seconds, and then you can take it, and once you have them all done, put them under the UV light for about 4 to 5 minutes is what I like to do. Now to make your earring studs, that's for all these tinier pieces, you're going to dip in your earring backs into the resin, put it on the piece, and then hit it with the UV light for around 30 seconds to a minute. And then you're going to do the next step. Take a toothpick, and you're going to paint it on the back of the stud right on top of this earring back. You're going to do that all along the top, being careful that it doesn't run around the edges. And you're going to set it to the side. And now once you've done that, you're going to want that UV resin to set for around 4 to 5 minutes under the UV light. And then your studs will be done. And just do that to every single piece. And you can get these sets of earring backs on Amazon. So put them under the UV light. You want to make sure when you're touching the back it doesn't feel sticky or tacky at all. 4 to 5 minutes usually does the trick. So for these, you're just going to put the jump ring right in that we put on there with the UV resin, and then put your earring hook right on. And see, I didn't have to twist the loop on the earring hook for these because it was already in the correct direction. They turned out really cute. And you could see I've done all these things in sections. The eye hooks, or the eye screws I did, then I did the necklaces, and then I did the studs, and I did these. It's just easier that way. Then I'll show you what it looks like once these are packaged. I use the same cardboard display pieces as I did for the other earrings. They turned out really cute. Then put your clear rubber backs on. And then you package all of those up. I love the way they turned out. And last, we're going to put all these studs into their packaging. This is how I sell mine. I sell them in packs of 3. And I get these cardboard display things off of Amazon as well. And you can notice I have a white pair there. It's because I didn't have another set of studs, so I just filled it in with the white pair, which works. I had those already done from a previous batch. You just secure them with the rubber backs. and they also turned out really cute. Those molds really make a lot of earrings, so if you're wanting to make a big batch, I recommend them. I got them on Amazon as well. Look how many earrings this turned out. I'll show you all at once. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe. And I have a whole bunch more resin tutorials on my channel, so I hope you check those out. Thank you and happy fall.